Hello and dearly welcome to the weekly EPP podcast. Today we have the special guest Distinct, who is the author of EU-BOR, with us, and we are going to talk. And we are going to talk. And we are going to talk about the idea sets overall. I think a lot of new players are a bit overwhelmed with a lot of the new ideas, but I think overall it's pretty nice to have the rework. Yeah, this is pretty good because overall, if you look at it, for example, quality ideas got a overall nerf compared to vanilla, and then quality. Like I think quality is the one of the worst defenders in vanilla EU4 because the group is just so strong. Yeah. Yeah, we had Merc removed. Yeah. Yeah, a big problem as well in vanilla EU4 is that the diplomatic groups are rather weak. Like you have diplomatic ideas for 50% available mercenaries, then you have trade if you want to do cash and explore if you want to go colonizing. But even in the recent patch, exploration got hit hard, I think. Steering? Trade companies. Yeah. Yep. Yes, I fully agree. Like, I think this is how EU-BOR, like, let's take a look at exploration ideas in EU-BOR. You have combined the Explorer and Conquistador with the first colonist. I think that's a good change. You can to go to Arguin or Tenerife. Yeah. As a as Portugal or Castile. Two provinces. Very, very strong Kappa. Yeah. Then you have 50% colonial range and claims in colonial region, which is pretty good for like sniping Mexico at the beginning. 10% movement speed. Then a stronger colonizing speed and the additional colonizer. 50% global tariffs. I think tariffs got hard nerfed in 128. So it's pretty. So it's not as strong as you would think it is. 5% additional fire and shock damage, which is very nice. And the naval leader fire and naval leader shock. Yeah, I think like nearly every nation that is picking exploration will at least want to have a semi-strong navy overall. So it's pretty good as a roundup. How many nations? I think like I think you can see it really nicely in trade ideas. Trade ideas gets an additional fire pip for your generals, an additional maneuver pick. For example, Maritime. Like I think Maritime and Trade are the ones like fighting for the same slot, and then you have 5% damage received overall, 20% manpower. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, especially if you combine it with the military ideas and the damage received modifiers, then you're at in the late game you get like 40% less damage overall. In the Age of Absolutism with the Prussian buff as well. No, Revolutionary Age. Isn't it? I think it's damage reduction. I haven't reached Age of Revolutionary yet. I think it was 10. Like it's 20% in base game, so I think it's 10%. What, Yili? Yili what? Oh, yeah. I... Yeah. If we're talking about cavalry, we should take a look at the cavalry nations that are in the game right now. For example, Yuan and Poland and Ruthenia. I think that's one of the like bigger changes in EUBAR, that cavalry builds are actually somewhat viable. I think they're really strong for the like, early part of the game, but right now like they're seeing some problems. I had Don Camillo saying that like the reinforcing and proper setting up of the armies is way harder. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like this is the thing. Yeah, I think for most of his armies are like 927, 928 or 826. I think that's way too aggressive. Yeah, like as you can see, Poland was actually winning hard. Like in the beginning, they were already close to I think Aleppo. They stalled in Aleppo and Dulkadir, and then got stack wiped, I think, and lost most of the army and got pushed back. Yeah, I think 18 times in one single war. Then Italy was wholesome and truce broke. Rum to help. Yeah, Italy was just helping. So overall, I think CAF is really strong. Like overall, the CAF cost got reduced, which is pretty interesting for the newer players. Like as you can see here with Poland, there's only 2 ducats of difference and 0.03 per month, so it's pretty much the same cost, which is pretty nice. Like, do you even have more? I think that's defensive morale. Yeah, you have slightly higher defensive morale at the moment. 3 less. Yeah, you even have more. You have equal pips. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I think this is really vital for the game, because in vanilla you're just taking this unit because it's simply better than the other units. And here you actually... Yeah, 23 you have a choice. Yeah. Yep, I agree. Yeah, a big thing as well is that you have 1 day of a fire phase and 1 day of a shock phase, which is also slightly beneficial for shock damage overall, because overall the big problem of Cav in vanilla as well is that the fire phase comes first, and you lose a lot of Cav in the fire phase in vanilla, and you don't get the proper reinforcements in the shock phase. Yep. I think the only nations that are somewhat able to run Cav are Poland and Hordes early game, and that's it. Yeah, like this, just aiming for early, like I think Poland in vanilla is the only nation that should even slightly consider Cav, but it's still way worse than infantry. It's tech time, yeah, it's all about tech timing in vanilla, and overall it's worse. Yeah. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think we should talk about the reworked influence ideas, as we are covering some changes as well. Influence ideas got a complete rework once already, and now got a additional rework. Yeah, plus it was +8 diplomatic relations, I think, minus 5,000% cost. Furthermore, it has 10% global trade power at the end as well, to have a bit more stronger trade as well. Yeah. And it's a bit dev cost. I think it's 1% dev cost. And prestige. And prestige as well. Like, I think power projection overall is pretty much overlooked in a lot of comparisons when it comes to army, because overall it gives you 10% morale. Yeah, like the... Yeah, 10% production. Yeah, I think influence ideas overall could be interesting for countries like Malaya overall. Yeah, like I think it won't take over like as the strongest diplomatic idea, because I think maritime trade and diplomatic are still stronger. But and even have espionage, like that's the cool thing. Yeah. 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 I think diplomatic is often an idea that is overlooked for some nations. I think diplomatic overall, it has 10% goods produced. You can step it more easily. Truce break, sorry. 3% discipline, a leader siege pip. Core cost reduction, ooh. Ooh. I didn't notice that. That's pretty nice. It takes 10 years. Yeah. I think overall it's nice as well that you got the 3% discipline at the finisher. Like I think the idea overall is really well rounded compared to a lot of ideas. Like you have the money stuff with the yearly corruption now, you have the nice military stuff with leader siege and discipline, but you also have like the tech cost reduction, the diplomat, the diprep, number of states, diplomatic annexation cost, and co-creation cost. I think it's a well-rounded idea. Probably one of the most. Yeah. I think it's really beneficial if you're playing, for example, playing Siam, because or some Indian nations that can really abuse the power of the province war score cost, core cost reduction, and number of states. For example, a nation, what is a nation with states? Like for example, if you're starting in Italy, I wouldn't say that diplomatic ideas is one of the best ideas. But if you're starting, for example, in Ayutthaya or Khmer, Dai Viet, I think diplomatic ideas is usually a good pickup. Which is a good thing. But I think it's a really nice thing, because in vanilla usually you have a build that is way stronger than another build, but right now in EUBOR you can, if for example Siam can and really use diplomatic ideas. So I think only 2 nations pick diplomatic ideas. I think it's France and Siam, and I think they really did a good job with abusing it. Like if you consider Burgundy played by purple, he beat France, he beat Bohemia, he beat Aragon. Yeah, but he used it and he expanded with it and snowballed with it. I agree overall. I think we should talk about a discussion that I heard a lot in the beginning of this season. Quality ideas versus defensive ideas. It's probably like the same talk as in vanilla. What do you think is the better starter? Quality or defensive ideas? Like quality has stuff that not everyone knows. Is that the Glorious Arms that states that you can recruit female generals allows you to recruit Streltsy or Cossacks, which is a pretty nice thing to know. Yeah. I think it's like a similar situation in vanilla. Like you either take defensive first or you take it last most of the time. Yeah. 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 In the peacetime. Yeah, like you can press one second for each 10 years with it, which is a nice boost, but as you said, in war times it's way worse. Yeah. So right now, let's compare builds. Let's look at Russia. I think Russia went quality, quantity, plutocratic. Yes. Yeah, which is pretty much you went for the infantry combat ability, more force limit and more manpower recovery, the additional pip, and I think third is way better than second. Yeah. Your 5, it's giving you 5% morale. For 4 years, I think? Yeah, 4 years. Oh yeah, 2 years, sorry, I was... Yep. Yeah. 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 I think the buffs to offensive may lead to it being picked up more, because I think overall offensive ideas was probably the least picked military idea overall. I think aristocratic is really nice for Cav nations. Defensive is strong for the nations that were building up professionalism and having trouble early. Quantity, of course, later on for the force limit. And I think offensive was not bad as a group, but it was just slightly worse than every other group outside of plutocratic. Yep. Here I will continue talking about other things here. As you can see, Siam expanded a lot into India and got punished for it with a lot of particulars, but that's not going to be much trouble. Overall, Yuan killed the Mughals. Wu got a really nice development spree going on. Really well built country. Oh, you're still having some animist. Interesting. I think he will expand it. The Hubei state is already rich as hell. Really nice state, very nice. I really like Wu overall as a country. Malaya's pretty rich, nothing new. Rum got beaten. And Italy expanded a lot here and here. Poland is somewhat stalling the war right now. Russia has built up and expanded here. Took the Vypolska state and parts of Podlasie. I think they took all of Podlasie. Zeta did nothing. Welcome back. France did nothing meaningful. Yeah. Last session. Yeah, I was just talking about the expansion stuff. Like, yeah, I think France has the problem right now that France is bordered by nations that are straight up stronger than France. I think France cannot beat Great Britain and France cannot beat Italy. Oof. did you say? I was kidding. I am creating the European Union. Oof, 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 oof. My Diplo has just changed this thing. Get ready to get ganked by Italy. Yeah, overall, if you consider it, we actually had the first time a new world nation was somewhat relevant. Texas did something. Yeah, I think Aussie was actually a factor. Yeah, I think there was a big misplay overall. Like, I think Texas played the big role of pushing back Poland. Like, Poland was already deep in, but I think Texas and Rum have only committed to fight against Poland, which I wholeheartedly agree on, because I think Poland is easier to beat than Italy, or was easier to beat than Italy. But I think the big problem for Rum is that in the long run, Yuan will attack. Yeah, like they got their heart ripped out. Like their heart is ripped out. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you did actually, for your own benefit. Yeah, I think overall, Rum got hurt a lot by not getting played for, I think, 2 sessions straight. Yeah, and I think 2 sessions. Only one? Yeah, Swings couldn't play because he got internet problems in that session. Yeah, correct. And the big problem is right now, like, we only have 3 nations left that can just outnumber Italy, because Italy is just too big numbers wise. And Italy, and if you're getting this attacked by Poland and Poland and Italy, you of course focused on Poland. Even though I disagree, because I think he should have used the choke point in Benghazi way more. Like just to let me take attrition and useless waste of time. Like, he had no forts at all. Like, he had 1 fort at the border in Hotna, and that's it. Yes, I couldn't evade it. I had, before the war, I was at 700 income, because I was getting all the trade of Rum, which was pretty big. I built up a lot in that time, but overall, I decided, because Italy only had 108 provinces. Yes, because I had, yes, I am behind now. A lot, actually. Like, I've lost around 2,000 points from that stupid war, because I fucked up a lot. 138. It's 138 provinces. Non-quantity. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like there are 3 nations in the game that my nation cannot beat anymore. Like I cannot beat Great Britain, I cannot beat Russia, and I cannot beat Siam. I can beat everyone else probably, but that's it. Yeah, but it won't be a 1-on-1. Like I think the strongest nation I can beat 1-on-1 is Oda. I think Oda is slightly weaker. Yeah, 20k in the safe and 30k if properly set up. Yeah. Like I think once I pick up quantity, my manpower will probably jump. Manpower recovery will jump up to 13k. With some improvements, probably 15. But it's okay, and I think it's kind of strong, but it's not on the level of Russia. I think that's the big problem. Like overall, I still have a lot of land to develop. Like all the German lands is still yet to be developed. Yeah. And I have all of Africa. Like all the African stuff is like I think my nation did finally do something in the last sessions where I got all the African stuff. Yeah, I think that was the plan. Like I increased 1/4 of my province count, and I got pretty. I think Egypt overall is pretty good land. Like it's already well deved, but Red Sea Hills, Palestine, the Nile Delta. Yeah, which was actually a bit stupid because I thought Ethiopia was protected and I didn't CB him because they was talking to Camillo and we thought Ethiopia was protected. And then I realized, oh, they are not protected. Yeah, sucks pretty much, but at this point, I cannot fight Malaya because if I fight Malaya, I fight Siam, and Siam just ruffle stomps every nation that's not called Russia at the moment. I think Siam is really underrated, actually. Yeah, I want to note that he has not quantity ideas yet. Like, if he's getting quantity, he's probably... And he's developing everything. Is he still... he can still build a lot of conscription centers. Yeah, but I think he's still I think he's the strongest country in the game right now. There's no contest on that, in my eyes. Yeah, but I've. Yeah, who would you say was the winner of last session overall? Yeah. I agree. Like, I think this session showed the downfall of Ramen Poland. I think Yuan also got a lot, but like Yuan has the problem overall that Yuan cannot. I think the bigger problem is, yeah, like I think that's the big problem. He has not. He has a lot of stuff he can def. I believe he has neither economic or innovative ideas. He has religious, diplo, and expansion. I disagree with that pickup. Yeah. Yeah. Or 10% morale, 20% Cav compatibility, 25. I think they're not like the best ideas, but I wouldn't call them weak. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would say not Sweden or Poland tier, but below it. Yeah, I would end the podcast, right? Yeah. 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 I think with the pickup of expansion ideas to cut off Wu. Yeah. I think Humanist would be a great pickup for his nation. Yeah. Yeah, I would say I would call it for now. Thanks for joining this thing. Yeah. Yeah, like we can talk if you want to call about talk about something about ideas. Yeah, wait. I will try to put it. I will try to put it up. It's an EPP mod. It's pinned. You know it. I don't think it's pinged. It's not pinned. Like 1. EUBOR 1.07 is pinned. Oh yeah, I could actually be smart and do that. Yeah, really nice, really nice. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, like I think it's insane if you can def for like I think it's stupid to take a war if you have enough provinces to def for 4. Like if you're taking like 12 or 13 before you reach 20, it's just way too efficient to just sit back and def. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the Cav pip. Yep. Yeah, I think a good change is the corruption in the absolutism era with the Dutch one, which was essentially a free money button. I think that was a pretty broken age objective for cash. Like it was essentially 500 ducats in a year for free for each nation. I think that's a good change overall. It does make it meaningful, but not OP. Yep. Yeah, overall, pretty. As you can see, if you would put it into groups, nerf to dev cost, reduction modifiers, rework of influence ideas, slightly improvement for the policy suggestions. Here, the French revolutionary disaster removed from the game, pretty nice. Siege ability changed, and yeah, pip rework, we already talked about that. Buff of the really bad national ideas. Oof, 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 oof. Yeah, I think you boar's in a good way. Like we have a lot of discussion in EPP mod about the mod and I think it's a good thing if the community like works together and gives suggestions, because base game EU4 is just picking up cookie cutter builds or the quality economic quantity religious build, and that's pretty much it. I think it's a bit boring and stale overall, so I prefer playing EUBOR over vanilla at this point. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I would call it for now, otherwise I will have a problem with uploading it. I want to upload it before the session later.